Hey, Al, I'm just going crazy today on creating some video content for my channel. Today, I'm going to talk about The Simpsons and the fact that they're at the 750th episode. I'm not going to say surprised, but disappointed with the 750th episode, to be quite honest with you. I mean, try to cram. If you see the opening scene, I wish I could put it up on here, but YouTube would flag it as copyright infringement, and then block my video. So, um, The Simpsons basically, and if you see the intro, you can probably see it on YouTube as well too. I think Fox probably put it up there, but they try to cram in as many as 750 characters of the Simpson history, Simpson universe into the opening scene, basically into the opening theme song monologue. The only thing is like I was surprised you don't see the Family Guy there, which is kind of surprising because I remember Family Guy was there. In any case, as well as I think Hank King of the Hill with Hank Hill. I think they were in The Simpsons at one point or cameo, anyways. Same thing with Rick and Morty. But anyways, I will say this. I felt that this episode was definitely a filler episode. I mean, it seems like a lot of these episodes now lately are just filler episodes more than anything else. I mean, it seems like after Groening left, let's put it that way. After Groening left in season, I think 5, 6, as well as and when they cut back on the writers a little bit as well too, and some of the writers left and went to do their own thing, the quality has definitely dropped considerably. I mean, to the point where once the movie came out, it was far much better than all the other Simpson episodes that have aired since Groening has left, as well as onwards. Honestly, to the point where I think The Simpsons needs Groening back. I mean, I know he won't be able to make it back. He doesn't want to come back or whatever it may be, but I think the guy needs to come back. Why? Because The Simpsons were relevant for the first 5 seasons, at least, for sure. They're not as relevant, it seems, like this point, to the point where Fox is just putting it out there, or in this case, Disney. They're just putting them up there to put them up there. I mean, honestly, after Disney bought out Fox, part of Fox's property, and officially owned The Simpsons, honestly, there would have been probably 4 or 5 different episodes you could have made about that in The Simpsons. Some parodies, some aspects of, whatever it may be, when it comes to the Star Wars parody, the Marvel universe, etc. They kind of loosely did, but it wasn't. Nowadays, it's just a matter of let's get guest stars on the show. And, now it's a case of if you're a guest star on the show, a guest voice on the show, it's a rite of passage. It's not a right. Well, I don't want to say rite of passage, but it's a nod to your fame and ability. But I will say this: this definitely disappointed me. This episode, I thought for sure they could have done something far more better than what it was. I mean, of course, I don't think we're going to see a lot more quality episodes since the writer's strike, of course, until something comes back. But at that point, I don't know what's going to happen. Honestly, Disney probably is going to say, you know what, we could probably get it with, some, maybe even use AI like ChatGPT and such. Who knows? I would not be surprised. Honestly, I don't know if that was done by The Simpsons, where they had ChatGPT or GPT-4. Right, Simpsons. I'm looking it up, actually. I could have sworn I remember seeing it somewhere. I know people have been asking, ChatGPT to write a Simpson episode. Yeah, honestly, it would be interesting to see. Maybe, I think South Park did it already. I'm surprised Family Guy hasn't done it. Quite honestly, if I'm the writers, or if I'm Disney, and there's a writer's strike, why not use GPT-4? Put in the peripherals, put in the parameters in place to write a full-on episode of The Simpsons. I know, granted, the voice actors won't cross the picket line because supporting the writers' union and strike and all that stuff. But you know what? Maybe use AI too for the voicing of the characters as well too. Honestly, why not have an episode written and voiced by AI? Wwhy not? I mean, I don't understand. It could work. Let's see how it works. I mean, honestly, that might bring a lot of viewers to view the episode anyways too. Because why? It would be the first episode ever written and voice acted by AI. And maybe even the art as well too. Like, like we've seen AI, people, coming out with Simpsons AI generated images, what it would look like in real life, etc. Why not do something of that nature as well too? See what AI does that from that aspect with GPT-4. Let GPT-4 generate the script, generate the art animation a little bit, as well as maybe generate the voice acting as well too. It'd be interesting to see. And hell, they could promote Fox or whatever, Disney can promote the hell out of it to the point of, like, not promote the hell out of it, but they can still promote it enough to the point of, like, it'll garner people to see what happens. If this episode is successful and it is good, look for the writing industry as well as animation as well as the TV industry and even movies be completely changed. The dynamic changes at that point. So it would be a good experiment to see what would happen and, like, let it be done like this way. And the fact is, you got the writer's strike. So like I said, why not have an episode written by that? Adding the parameters that you need. It'd be interesting to see. But I'll say this. Even though the ratings are kind of semi-stable, honestly, for me, it's one of those things where, yes, I still watch The Simpsons. Why? Because it's one of those things where I watched from the very beginning, and I just can't not want to see it anymore. It's just, I feel like it's I'm a Gen Xer. It's one of those things where it feels like it's my obligation to still watch it. Similarly to with Family Guy, it feels like it's my obligation to watch it. Same thing with South Park. It feels like it's my obligation to watch it because I was in college when South Park came out. I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. And like what they were doing and such. And it's like, it's my obligation now to watch it at this point. Same thing with, honestly, if Futurama was still around, I probably would be watching Futurama still at this point as well too. The Cleveland Show and American Dad, not so much. Tried getting into it, but I couldn't get into it in the beginning, so I stopped. But The Simpsons, I think I've invested so much time into it, watching it for all the episodes that I just can't stop. Granted, it's like now it's moving away from referencing a lot of pop culture, more towards referential pop culture. They really can't lose what you would say as any references or writing material, because in the real world there's so much stuff out there they could so put that into the real world as well too, to be quite honest. Honestly, with the Ukraine Russia war, they could sort of incorporate Vladimir Putin, they could put so much into Putin as well. And add a sort of comedic aspect to it at that point as well too. Can you, in a ways? Yes. Should it be right to do so? I don't know, maybe. But it's one of those things where I would love to see this happen, where The Simpsons an episode was written by GPT-4 or GPT-5, depending. If the animation was also animated via AI, that would be great too. As well as voice acting, if the voice acting was also done by AI. Now the question is like, with the voice acting, will the voice actors get a percentage of what of this episode airing? It's hard to say, because reality, it's their voice that they've created for the characters, that they still deserve some aspects of royalty. It's their IP at that point as well too, in a ways. The voice that they created. It's from them that they created, so it's part of their IP at that point too. So even though the IP falls in between the production company and they themselves as well too, it falls in between both of them. Not one person wholly owns it at that point, unless it was their actual voice per se. Like the actress that plays Lisa Simpson, that's her actual voice, so she can work on off of that. Sorry, but honestly, why not do a trial run with actual AI doing the voices as well too? But instead of using the voice actors, their actual voices, let the computer animation determine it. Put it this way, there's so much information out there. Of past episodes with The Simpsons that there's enough historical metrics, enough information for the models to be created to generate the voices in a way to the point of like what probably Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa should sound like versus what we know of them as, basically. I'll leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. What do you guys think? Do you think the Simpsons will last a little bit longer? Do you think that Simpsons, there should be an episode written specifically by AI, generated by AI, as well as voiced by AI to see what it is, and as an experiment to see should Disney try it and test it out for one full episode, like a full 20-minute episode, I believe, or 25-minute. I forgot exactly how long an episode should be. Yeah, 25 minutes basically. See how it works out. I mean, they could do a trial run on YouTube for that matter, or on their Disney Plus stream, basically for 5 minutes. Put it out there. Let's see what happens. And if people start liking it, okay, great. But honestly, I think if they want to get the ratings a little bit up, a little bit, some attention, do it. Put it out there. Have it generated by AI. I think everyone will start saying it'll definitely become newsworthy. I can put it that way. It'll definitely become newsworthy to the point where the news will start realizing, okay, hey, look, this is going to affect the entertainment industry considerably. Will we need actors at this point? Will we need voice actors? Will we need writers at that point, to be honest, at that point? So I think if Disney's smart enough, or the producers of The Simpsons are smart enough, they try it out for once, see how it works. If it's a success, all right, the whole industry the whole entertainment industry changes. If it's not a success, well, something. I mean, if the plots are good, then writing is changes a little bit. If the animation is good but the plot sucks, okay, you know what, etc. Or the voice acting, whatever it may be, there are certain pieces that could work out of it that still changes the industry at that point as well too. But with it, I'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts. Again, I do read my comments, so please leave comments in the comment section. I do read them all, and I do respond to them when they warrant a response. I also ask if you like this video, please like or dislike. If you, based on that, I can determine where my content should be focused on, whether it be TV series, shows, sports, or whatnot, or even tech. Also, if you haven't subscribed but do enjoy my content, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you don't like my content but still watch it and you want to razz me, you're welcome to razz me. But I also ask that if you do that, that you also subscribe as well too. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and unrehearsed. Until next.